Hello everybody and welcome to our Wednesday evening practice. I hope everybody is feeling good this evening and I'm excited to have you on the virtual mat this evening. We don't need anything exciting tonight, just your mat and a nice big smile. I've always got, I'm just going to move that down a little bit, I've always got a couple of pillows just in case you need propping up or in case you need some bolstering for a really nice comfortable Shavasana at the end of the class. But we're going to start off in child's pose tonight, so maybe you might need a little bit of padding under the knees, seeing how you're feeling today, or perhaps even between the back of the calf muscles and the thighs. Just coming down to getting yourself into a nice comfortable space with your toes together, your heels open wide, and your knees around about hip width apart so that you can nestle your body into your space. Just bringing the elbows down onto the floor, maybe the hands underneath the head, or maybe the head comes all the way down. So finding your comfortable space here in child's pose. I'll just lift my head so I can talk to you and you can hear me. But just taking a moment to sway your hips a little from left to right, just noticing your lower back, the space around your hips, your thighs, even the sides of your belly, the sides of your lower ribs. How does that feel this evening? Any aches or pains, any tenderness around the muscles or the joints? As always, we're not here to judge, we're just here to build up a picture, to be aware of our body and how we're doing on this moment in time. And then take that sway into your shoulders. So maybe we send the shoulders up and down, side to side. Noticing the neck, the middle back, the upper back, the space between the shoulder blades. Again, how does that feel for you this evening? And then we're going to come and rest in the center with a nice relaxed body. Take a moment to notice the space around your jaw, making sure that the teeth aren't clenched, they're slightly parted so you can relax the back of the jaw. Making sure the forehead isn't being pushed into the floor. Just draw the tailbone down if that's happening, or maybe place the hands underneath the head. And then with closed eyes, just take a moment to acknowledge your body, acknowledge your space on the mat this evening. Taking time, as well as looking at the physical body, and again, whether there's any aches, pains, or tightness. Have a little look at the thoughts that are washing over the mind, perhaps persistent, or perhaps they've just come to you now that you're taking your space on your yoga mat. And notice the quality of those thoughts. Are you feeling positive today? Are you feeling a general indifference, or are you feeling a little bit lackluster? Again, whatever is true for you today is absolutely fine. We take a moment to hold ourselves with kindness, to come to our body, to our thoughts, to our emotions with a sense of ease, and again with that sense of kindness. And with that said, we take a really big breath into the center of the back. As you exhale, huge sigh. And start to feel any tension releasing and relaxing through your floor. Start to feel the next breath penetrating deeper into the lungs, into the belly. And then the next inhale again, taking it into the center of the back. Big open mouth sigh. To ground and release. One more of those. Big breath in. Huge sigh out. Closing the mouth but keeping the teeth parted. And as always, before we start our practice, we make a promise to ourselves to practice with openness and honesty for the body, being kind, nurturing, and then taking those hands forward, still keeping the head low, walking the hands forward right to the top of the edge of your yoga mat if you can, stretching out along those fingertips and drawing down through the tailbone at the same time. So you have that nice big stretch in the middle of the back, underneath the shoulder blades. Breathing deeply here. One more big breath in. Again, big sigh out. And then on the next inhale, going to come up onto all fours. From here, as you exhale, tuck your toes under and lift your hips into a downward dog, but keeping your knees nice and soft. A gentle look from left to right underneath the arms, just seeing how that feels for a moment. And then on the next inhale, we're going to lift up high onto the toes and exhale down through the heels. Next inhale, moving forward into a high plank, nice and slow, nice and steady, shoulders back. Exhale, drop the knees, untuck the toes. On the inhale breath, we're going to lift up into an upward cat. Shoulders back. As you exhale, we're going to come into a long cat, so a rounded back body. Inhale breath, another one of those. Up cat. And exhale. Inhale, up cat. And this time as we exhale, we're going to tuck the toes and lift back into our downward dog. Inhale, breath forward into our high plank. This time as you exhale, knees drop, untuck toes, and bring the hips towards the heels. Your choice, as you inhale, you can come forward into an upward cat, or you can let the hips continue forward into a really long cobra pose. Exhale breath, tucking toes and lifting into your downward dog. Inhale, breath forward, high plank. Exhale, knees fall, untuck toes, sit hips towards the heels. Again, your choice, up cat, or snaking the body forward into our really long cobra, lifting chest, dropping hips. Exhale, push through the heels of the hands and come up into downward dog. Inhale, forward, high plank. Exhale, drop knees, untuck toes, sitting back. Inhale, coming into our long cobra or up cat. Exhale, tuck toes, lifting hips. Last time, inhale, forward, plank pose. Exhale, knees, untuck toes, coming back into child's pose. Resting here, turning your palms to face towards the ceiling. And just letting the wrists relax for a moment. Nice big breaths in and out. And then we're going to roll up all the way to sitting on the shins. So letting the hands slide back, rolling up, heavy head, heavy shoulders. One vertebrae at a time. And then coming to roll the shoulders up, back and down. Take an inhale breath, sweeping arms out and up, lifting chest. And as you exhale, bring the hands together in heart. We're going to take a moment to roll our wrists. There's quite a lot of pressure on the wrists moving forwards and backwards, so we take a moment to release any tension that is left in the wrists. And then coming back the other way. Kind of feels a little bit awkward, whichever way you don't choose first. And then you're going to push the palm away from you, one hand, doesn't matter which one, and the other hand comes onto the underside of the fingers so that you can push the heel of the hand and the underside of the wrist forward. Big breath in. As you exhale, let the shoulders fall and push the heel of the hand forward. Turning the hand so that the knuckles are facing outwards, and again the opposite hand comes onto the fingers. Big breath in. As you exhale, shoulders fall. Pull the hand back and push the top side of the wrist forward. And then shake that hand out and come on to the other side. So pushing the heel of the hand away from you, opposite hand onto the inside of the fingers. Big breath in. Exhale, drop shoulders and push the wrist forward. Pull the hand back. Nice big breaths here. And then turning the knuckles face outwards, palm face forward, towards you, placing the hand on top of those fingers. Again, big breath in. As you exhale, shoulders down and push the wrist forward and bring the fingers back towards your forearm. And then again, shake that hand out just to release any residual tension. Another big inhale to sweep open through the upper chest. This time as you exhale, reach the hands forward and plant them down. Opening the fingers as wide as you can, tucking toes, exhale, lifting down the dog. This time we're going to work on the legs, so bending and stretching, keeping the upper body nice and long, all the way from wrist to hips, about 45-degree angle. See if you can get that long straight line as you shake leg from leg. Shift the weight from one side to the other. Okay, just noticing how that feels all the way down the back of each leg, getting rid of any clicks. And then as you inhale, lift up high onto toes. Exhale, down through the heels. Inhale, right foot up and back, three-legged. Exhale, hug right knee nice and high towards heart center. Heel toe in between the hands. Rolling shoulders up, back and down, dropping hips. Pulling open through the collarbones, lengthening forward through the crown of the head and back through that left heel. No tension through the toes. Staying on fingertips as you inhale up through left arm, shoulders back. Exhale, left fingertips come down. Inhale up through right arm. Again, shoulders back. This time take your right hand into the center of the lower back, into your sacrum. Rolling right shoulder up, back and down. We're staying on fingertips of the left hand today. If it's uncomfortable, you can come down onto the palm, but I just want to get that really open space in the chest if possible. Hugging right knee into the center, pulling left thigh bone up and back. Big breath in. Big sigh out. Inhale, right arm sweeps all the way up, forward and down. Planting both hands, left foot comes to meet the right. Allow the head to fall. Inhale up halfway, fingertips on shin, shoulders back, opening through the chest. And as you exhale, bend and fold. We're going to roll ourselves up, nice and long through that roll. Heavy head, heavy shoulders. And then again, our reset roll of the shoulders up, back and down. Inhale, sweeping arms out and up, lifting chest. As you exhale, bring the hands together in heart. Inhale, raising your prayer and your right leg. No tension through the left toes. Make sure we have that nice long left leg. Rolling through right ankle. Nice and long through upper body. See if we can keep the shoulders down into their sockets even though the prayer is high. Rolling around the opposite way if you haven't already. And then from here, knee just as high as your hip, flexing the right foot, so not higher today. Left hand onto right thigh and roll the right shoulder up, back and down. If you can, follow the right hand with your gaze. It's not always easy to balance, so just see how that feels. But just notice your right hip. We're trying not to let your right bum cheek lift. See if you can draw it down towards the floor. Nice and open across the chest. We're into our twist today. Nice cleansing yoga practice tonight. And then as you inhale, lifting that right arm up. And then as you exhale, bring the right foot back. Allow both hands to aeroplane back with it to warrior three. Right heel kicks away, softening through that left leg a little as you open the chest a little further forward. Big breath in, big sigh out. Bend the left knee, bring right foot down, inhale up through warrior one. Exhale down through shoulders, down through hips, grounding into that position, into our Virabhadrasana one. Left thigh pulling back, right little toe side of the foot pulling down. Nice big grounded, strong warrior one. Inhale, raising arms, raising gaze. As you exhale, planting the hands in, to frame the front foot and bringing that left foot back into our downward dog. A gentle sway through hips, a paddle through feet, a bend and stretch through each leg, just to check in with those legs again. And then next inhale, lift up high onto toes to reset. Exhale down through the heels. Inhale, left heel comes up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, hug the left knee nice and high, heel to the foot in between the hands. As always, if you need to move that foot forward, make sure there's no tension in those left toes. Shoulders come back, come up higher onto fingertips. Pull those shoulders back into their sockets. Lifting up and back through that right thigh, squeezing the thighs into the center line. Big breath in, big sigh out. Staying up onto fingertips. As you inhale, right arm comes up, pull the shoulder blades back. As you exhale, right fingertips come down. Again, if it's unsteady, you can place the full palm down. Inhale, left arm comes up, shoulders come down and back, and then left hand into the sacrum. Again, we're trying to draw that left knee into the middle. We're trying to lift the right thigh bone up and pull that left hip back as you really open across the chest. Big breath in and out here. Inhale, lift that left arm all the way up. Brush it past the ear and frame the front foot. Taking right foot in to meet the left. Inhale up halfway, lifting chest, shoulders back. Exhale, soften and fold. Rolling ourselves up here. Again, heavy head, heavy shoulders, taking your time, dropping tailbone down as you lift your way up to straight. Rolling shoulders up, back and down. Inhale, sweeping arms out and up. As you exhale, bring your hands together in prayer. Again, we're going to raise our prayer along with our left knee. Wriggle toes on right foot, make sure that that right foot is nice and grounded. Again, those shoulders, see if you can draw them down the back. Hug the belly, drop the tailbone, lift the right thigh. Rolling through that left foot. Opening up through ankle, just checking in. Again, left knee is around about hip height, not too high today. Flexing left foot as you bring right hand onto left thigh. Left arm rolls its way open. Use the shoulder to lead that movement. And again, if you can, follow that left set of fingertips with your gaze. Staying steady as you draw the belly in, drop the tailbone down, drop the left shoulder. Big, big breaths. And then inhale, that left arm comes all the way up. And we're going to bring ourselves back into airplane warrior three. So opening up through the chest, wriggling fingertips towards the back, shoulders come back. Soften through that right knee a little as you draw up the chest further forward, kick the left heel away. And then we're going to soften that right leg even further to come into warrior one. Left foot down, arms lift. As you exhale, shoulders come down, belly hugs in. We're trying to bring both of those hips to point to face towards the front in our Virabhadrasana one. Pull that right hip back. Again, see if you can keep the toes nice and relaxed, no tension, no clasping of the floor. Big breaths in and out to ground you. Next inhale, raise the arms, raise the gaze. And as you exhale, frame that front foot. Again, that right foot comes back into our downward dog, where we take our reset sway or pedal of the feet. And then from here, we're going to bend our knees, gaze between the hands, jump or step in between the hands. Inhale up halfway. Maybe the fingertips can come all the way down this time in full monkey. As you exhale, bend the knees and fold. If you're feeling lightheaded, roll your way up, or you can reverse swan dive. Inhale to lift. Exhale, this time we're going to come all the way down, so bend and fold at the center, tracing with the prayer. Come to bring your hands behind your ankles, bend your knees to let your belly come closer to your thighs. So nice big bend, don't be afraid of bending your knees in our standing forward bend. So drawing the head closer towards those knees, seeing if you can start to lift the underside of the pelvis, but as you do so, that hinge is still drawing the head as close as it can towards those knees. So don't worry too much about straightening the legs the whole way. Nice big breaths all the way down the back body. Crown of the head is dropping down towards the floor. Tailbone is lifting up. Use your breath to draw the body closer to those legs. Again, don't worry about straightening the knees. And then release from that stretch as you bring the hands to frame the feet. Take your right foot back and drop into that right knee. Untuck the toes. We're going to come up for crescent lunge. If you're feeling a little bit tired today or a little bit tight around the back, hands onto the left thigh and lift yourself up. If you're feeling a little bit more energetic, butterfly the thumbs, and as you inhale, lift the upper body and push the hips forward. Try not to sink into the lower back. Again, let the hips move forward rather than downwards. Again, if you need that little bit of extra support, hands onto the thigh. Try not to let the belly or the lower ribs start to flare forward. Big breath in. Big sigh out. And then opening those arms up, squeezing the hips a little as you bring the hands onto the inside of that left foot. Heel toe the left foot out to the side a little as we come into lizard pose. So we're going to stay onto the right knee today, unless you really fancy tucking the right toes and lifting up that right knee, but we'll save our energy a little. So as you inhale, we're going to come forward through the chest, shoulders back. And as you exhale, shift the hips back, left big toe still pointing down towards the floor. Again, on that inhale breath, come forward with the chest, shoulders coming back, opening the gaze, opening the throat. Exhale, squeezing the hips and coming back. Again, nice big breath in, lifting the chest. And exhale, coming all the way back. Coming into neutral now, so just bringing yourself into the center. I'm going to start to take an upper back and shoulder stretch as well as a hip stretch. So bring your right hand forward and slide your left hand back between the legs so that we're drawing that left shoulder underneath the left knee. The left knee is hugging its way into that center line. And as you come down, you can slide yourself a little deeper into it, reaching right fingertips forward, reaching left fingertips back. So really nice big stretch through the middle. Again, keep hugging that left knee in so you can find the left adductor stretch as well, the inside of that left thigh. Take a few really long lungfuls of air into the body here. Really nice opening breaths. And then very slowly slide that left hand back to the front as we turn the left toes out to the left edge of the mat. So as you turn those left toes out, we're going to push the hips forward again and circle the left arm all the way up back and down. So again, you can bring it into your sacrum, but this time we're letting the left kneecap come out to the side. So you're on the left little toe side of the foot. So as you come back, you can bring the hand all the way onto the outer edge of the right thigh if you want to deepen the stretch a little further, or you can just leave it into the sacrum, or you can bring it onto the inside of your left knee, seeing how you feel today. Again, those really big lungfuls of air coming into the body to really release the muscles into that stretch. And then as you inhale, lift that left arm all the way up, forward and down. Replace that left foot to face towards the front. As you tuck the right toes, lift up off that right knee and bring the right heel down. We're going to cartwheel ourselves open into a reverse warrior straight leg. So right arm up, back and down, lifting the left arm up. Nice long lift. And as you exhale, we're going to come forward into a really long Trikonasana. Feel the stretch underneath that left thigh. Again, if you're feeling a little bit tired, just place your left hand onto the waist or back of the hand just below the knee. Right arm either lifts up or again onto the right waist if you're feeling a little bit tired. Big breaths in and out here, maybe sliding those left fingertips towards the floor. Again, maybe not, just finding your limitations for this evening and what feels good for your body, and also where you can get the most breath in your body. There's no point in coming all the way down if you can't breathe lower than the first top part of your lungs. So nice big breaths in and out. And then sliding right hand behind your back, see if you can find the inside of your left thigh. See if you can roll that right shoulder open even further, and again, only if you fancy and if you have the energy, you can let those left fingertips come forward. Again, try not to let the right shoulder fall here. And then on that next inhale, lifting up with that left arm. You can keep the bind if you want to, you don't have to. And then soften into our reverse warrior with bent knee. Big breath in. As you exhale, soften down even further into those hips. One more inhale here, reaching up with left arm. And as you exhale, open out the arms into warrior two. A nice big drop down into the center through the tailbone and lift up through the crown of the head. Next inhale, straighten your left leg and turn the left toes to face towards the side of the mat. Redo my hair. And as you exhale, come forward and down. Sorry, hair crisis. So lifting your chest forward as you place your fingertips or full palms underneath your shoulders and just let the belly fall, middle back, upper back, shoulders, and then roll yourself down so that the crown of the head is pointing towards the floor. So make sure the toes are slightly pigeon-toed, slightly turned in, with the heels slightly turning out. And you've got a nice wide stance to give yourself that low center of gravity. Get a big breath in and out here. Softening through upper back, letting everything fall down to the floor, just giving way to gravity. No tension through the back body whatsoever. And then from here we're going to lift up halfway. And again, we talked about coming into quite a few twists tonight. So here's another twist. We're going to bring our right hand forward, and the left hand is going to slide its way underneath that right hand and grab hold of the left leg. Right leg. Which hand have I got forward? So right hand forward, left hand underneath to grab hold of the right leg. So see if we can grab hold of the foot. If not, outer edge of the leg or above the knee, but not actually on the knee, so that you've got some sort of purchase to bend into that elbow. So as you bend that left elbow towards the floor, you're going to start to walk your right hand even further forward
and turn to look underneath that right arm. So big breaths in and out here. It's quite a deep twist. Seeing if you can get the chest to come down towards the floor. Again, that big breath in and out, pushing its way beyond that compression of the twist. So final big breath in through the nose, and then out through the mouth, and unravel the arms, hanging into the center. And then coming on to the other side. So the left hand comes forward, right hand slides underneath to grab hold of the left leg. Again, maybe it's leg, maybe it's foot, maybe it's thigh. And as you inhale, bring your chest forward. As you exhale, bend into that elbow and start to walk those front fingertips forward. Again, returning to look underneath that arm. See if you can get those really big breaths into the back body. Hopefully this feels good for your shoulders. Still bending that right elbow down towards the floor. And then final big breath in. As you exhale through the mouth, unravel the arms. And then very slowly coming back up into the center. So lifting up halfway, fingertips. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Turning the left toes to face towards the front, framing that front foot and bring the left foot back into plank. As you exhale, your choice, either knees, chin, chest, or knees and full body. And then as you inhale, untuck the toes coming up into cobra. As you exhale, tuck toes and come back into downward dog. Nice and long through upper body. Again, really big breaths in and out here. Softening through the chest. And then we're going to bend the knees, gaze between the hands. Jump or step in between the hands. Inhale up halfway, again maybe even monkey pose this time. And as you exhale, bend the knees and fold. So coming into our Paschimottanasana, standing forward, bend again. Uttanasana. Maybe we are going to place our hands underneath our feet this time. If you are placing, the palms are facing up and the toes are in the wrist crease. If you can't quite make that with bent knees, then come back into our other hand variation behind the ankles. So either way, bending the knees to bring the belly really close to the thighs, and then let the head again come to look between those kneecaps. Nice big breaths in and out here for a moment, and then start to stretch your back. So the underside of the pelvis is lifting up towards the ceiling as the head is hinging closer to those knees. Again, really big breath. It's not all about straightening those legs, so please don't worry about that too much. See if you can bring a bit more weight into those pads of the feet, the front of the feet, just a little. And then gently releasing those hands if you've got them from underneath, planting them beside you. Inhale, bringing the left foot back, dropping the knee down, untucking those toes. Again, your choice of crescent lunge. Maybe we're bringing the hands onto the knee, or maybe we're awkward butterflying our thumbs. And as you exhale, push forward through those hips. Wherever we are, the belly is still lifting, the lower back is still lifting. We're trying not to sink our way into this stretch. We're pushing the hips forward, not down. Nice open breath in and out here. And then squeezing the thighs together as you roll the arms open and place the hands onto the inside of that right foot. Heel toeing the right foot out to the side as we come into our lizard pose, but on that left knee. So again, if you did it on the other side, you can tuck the toes if you want to, but quite welcome to stay on the kneecap. So as you inhale next time, chest is forward, shoulders are back, opening the throat. And then as you exhale, lift the hips and pull yourself back. Right big toe is pointing towards the floor. Again, so use your own breath pattern, inhaling forward, opening the chest, and then exhaling backwards, lengthening out through the thighs. So don't worry whether you're with me or not, just working through your own breath pattern, lifting the hips, opening the gaze, but releasing the eyebrows, and then gently moving yourself back. So last one, wherever you are in your cycle, just doing one more. And then we're going to come back into our neutral position. Again, we're going to take that left hand forward slightly and bring the right arm underneath, reaching those fingertips back, but hugging the right kneecap over the top of that shoulder if you can. As you come down to look towards that left knee, wriggle left fingertips forward, right fingertips back. And take a moment here, really hugging that right knee in, stretching out from fingertip to fingertip. Again, long, open, even breaths. Getting as much length as you possibly can out of that stretch. And then one more big breath in and out. As you very slowly take that right hand back to prop yourself up so that we can take the right toes out to the right edge. So the hips are going to come forward and the shoulders are going to come back, and we're going to come onto our right little toe side of the foot. Again, maybe we're placing right hand onto the inside of the knee, maybe we're placing it into the sacrum, or all the way onto the right hip, sorry, left hip, as you open up into that stretch. Just letting right kneecap fall, see if you can release a little bit of tension through the glute, through the outer edge of the hip. Again, using those breaths. And then as you inhale, take that right hand all the way up and over, turning the right toes to point towards the front. And again, we're going to bring that left toes to tuck under, lifting up through that left knee, bringing the heel down onto the floor. At this point, I'm going to turn around to the other direction so you can see what I'm up to. And we're going to cartwheel that left arm all the way up, back and down for reverse warrior straight legs. So I should have said before, make sure the left arch is in line with right heel, so you've got nice open hips in our reverse warrior stance. Big breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to come forward for Trikonasana. Again, remember those variations. If you're not feeling so energetic this evening, just place the hands on the hips, or right back of the hand down, left arm lifts. So move yourself into a deeper Trikonasana. Take a moment, take a breath. You can always place a prop underneath that right hand too. Left hand comes behind the back, see if you can find the inside of that right thigh. Just rolling that left shoulder open for a moment. And again, only if you fancy, right arm can come forward. Big breath in and out. And if you have the bind, keep it as you inhale up with that right arm for reverse warrior. Soften into that right knee as you deepen that stretch. Really big breaths in and out here, reaching up with those right fingertips, dropping down through the left shoulder. One more big breath in and out. And as you next exhale, open the arms up for warrior two. Shoulders are soft, drawing down through the tailbone to lengthen out through the whole of the back. Shoulders pulling their way down, and those fingertips reaching their way open. Again, that nice big breath in and out. And then on the next inhale, straightening that right leg, turning
the right toes to face towards the side. So we're going to take the hands into clasp this time, so bringing them behind you and coming into our Kali Mudra, so releasing index fingers to point down towards the floor. See if you can keep the thumbs and the heels of the hands together. And as you inhale, lifting the chest, drawing those fingertips, those index fingertips down towards the floor in a gentle back bend. And then as you exhale, lean the heart center forward. Exaggerate that movement to come down with a nice open chest. Toes in, heels out. And then the last thing to come down is the head. See if those index fingers will point up towards the ceiling. Nice big breaths, and then see if those index fingers will come over even further to point over to that side of the mat. Big breath in and out here. And then as you exhale, just let those arms fall down. As you inhale, lift up halfway, fingertips underneath your shoulders, forward through your chest. And as you exhale again, roll and fall. So your choice, you can just let those arms hang onto the floor, or you can grab hold of alternative elbows. Just depends on how high up your body is from the floor. Just letting the blood flow to your head for a moment. Get those really big, deep breaths here, letting everything fall down towards the floor. And then very slowly, we're going to come up, rolling ourselves up. So bending your knees, bringing your heels inwards now, toes outwards. And we're going to come up through that center line. Just let the arms dangle, coming up through the center line. So rolling shoulders up, back and down. This spinal twist is for middle back and upper back and shoulders. So we did a long spinal twist last time. We're going to come into a different one this time. So come down into goddess legs, so knees over ankles. See if you can take the pressure away from the big toe side of your feet. So you're rolling onto the little toe side of your feet. And then bring the thumbs onto the inside, fingertips onto the outside of your thighs. I then want you to do something I never ever tell you to do. Put your shoulders in your ears. See if you can keep your arms as long as possible and settle down in the middle so that your shoulders come up towards your ears. You're putting a little bit of pressure on those hands, on those thighs, and leaning slightly further forward with your chest. So nice big breaths in and out here, shoulders into the ears. And then from here, we're going to turn to look over your right shoulder. As you do that, your left shoulder falls and your right elbow draws in towards your right waist. Big breath in. Exhale, come back into center, both arms straight and both shoulders into the ears. Big breath in. As you exhale, bending through the left elbow and turning to look over that left shoulder. So you're pushing through the right heel of the hand, right arm is straight, left arm is bent. Big breath in. Exhale, back into center line, shoulders in towards the ears. Again, that final big breath. And as you exhale, let everything sink down to the center. So heels outwards again, swivel on the balls of the feet. Inhale up halfway, exhale, bend, and then gently turn to face towards that right foot, coming back into our plank pose. Again, your choice, knees, chin, chest, or knees, whole body. Inhale into up dog or cobra. Exhale into our quarter dog. Big breath underneath your shoulder blades. And then as you exhale, big sigh, untuck the toes, and come back into child's pose. Just resting here for a moment. Letting the body come back into neutral. Seeing if you can bring that breath back into the lower part of the body.
And then we're going to roll ourselves up. So again, we're sliding the hands back towards the body, rolling up to sitting on the shins. Big reset, shoulder roll up, back and down. Next inhale, minding radiator, sweep your arms out and up. As you exhale, reach those hands forward and bring those palms down. We're going to shift the hips forward, lifting the chest, and then let the whole body come down nice and slowly onto the floor. So resetting wherever you are. And making sure that you've got enough space either side of you to bring your arms out. Maybe, like me, you need to turn around to the other way, so I'm facing the other direction. We're going to do a nice big stretch for our pec muscles, but also the back, a really nice grounding twist. So take your, best way to show you, take your right arm out to the side at shoulder height, and then bring your left fingertips still on that same shoulder line, but your elbow is bent up towards the ceiling. So from here, we're going to turn to look towards those left fingertips, so right here onto the floor. And then we have a choice of leg positions. You can either just roll over onto your right hip, so pushing into that left hand, rolling over onto your right hip, or you can bend the left leg and place the left foot behind your right leg. So again, maybe you might need to look at the screen a little bit more than usual and then come into your pose. If you've done this with me before, then all good. But either way, just find your way into a place where you can feel a stretch on the inside or the front side of that right shoulder. But also see if you can find little stretch for that space around the left kidney area. Deepen your breath. Just let the left kneecap fall away from you if you have it bent. If not, again, don't worry, you can still do it with legs straight, and we can focus our awareness, our attention on that right shoulder. And wherever you are, long, steady breaths. And then very slowly coming back onto your belly, forehead onto the floor, and both arms reaching forward. So really big breath in and out here. And then we're going to come on to the other direction. So left arm comes out long, shoulder height, and then the right fingertips come onto the floor, right elbow bends, looking towards those right fingertips with left ear on the floor. So again, we're going to start off just rolling onto the left hip. Take a breath or two here. And then if you fancy that deeper stretch, bending right knee, placing right sole of the foot onto the floor behind the left leg. Watch that right shoulder as well, make sure it doesn't come up as you push into those right fingertips. Let the shoulder blade settle into its socket so you find a really long stretch diagonally across your back. And wherever you are, just really concentrate on a long, slow breath rather than trying to get deeper into the position so much. One more big breath in. And then as you exhale, come back onto your belly, slowly, gently. Reach the fingertips forward forehead comes down. And then time to get into a little back strengthening. As you inhale, lift both hands, both legs, shoulders back, gazing forward, eyebrows soft. Big breath in, big breath out. One more big breath in. Exhale, let everything fall. Bring the hands underneath your forehead as you lift the feet and gently windshield wiper them left to right. Just easing any last minute tension through that low spine. And then from here, bringing those feet down, bringing hands underneath your shoulders, and then coming back with your hips towards your heels, nice and long through that lower back stretch. Untucking the toes, bringing the hips above the heels as you start to walk forward into our puppy stretch. So we started off with toes untucked, but if you want to deepen it even further, you can tuck the toes, or you can look forward. Again, you can look down if it's a little tough on the shoulders. Big breath in and out here. And then very slowly, snaking your way forward before we roll over onto the back. So as always, finding a comfortable space in Shavasana. Maybe you want to have the addition of your cushions underneath your knees so you can really relax your lower back after all of our lovely twists this evening. I hope you've enjoyed them all. But we're going to come down onto our backs and find a really comfortable space to relax this evening. So rolling shoulders up, back and down, maybe rocking the hips from left to right, maybe just letting the head drop from left to right. And we're going to give ourselves just a little face massage. So 2 index fingers, 2 peace fingers, bringing them onto the inside of the eyebrows. As you smooth those eyebrows out to the side, close the eyes if they're not already. And then gently massage through those temples. And then letting those arms fall beside you, just with a note to make sure that those shoulders are away from the ears. The chin is slightly tucked to lengthen the neck. And then closing the eyes down as you start to become aware those different parts of the body. So starting off with the toes, releasing and relaxing those toes, letting them fall away from the center of the body. Softening through the ankles, through calf muscles, through the knees and the thighs. Letting the hips fall heavy, grounded and relaxed. No tension through low back. Feeling a sense of ease around that space. A softness to the muscles. A heaviness to the shoulders, to the arms. A lightness to the chest and the rib cage. No tension through the back of the neck, through the muscles of the face. Letting softness wash over the body as you bring your awareness to the center of the eyebrows. Letting everything else drift away through the floor.
starting to deepen the breath as we wriggle through fingers and toes. Straightening through the legs as you take the arms over the head, big breath in. Huge sigh out. Still with eyes closed if you can. Turning to the right hand side, taking a moment to come slowly back into the body. And only when you're ready, coming back into our comfortable cross-legged seat. Again, still with eyes closed if you can. Bringing the palms face down onto the knees. As always, we take a moment in this space to notice the body, notice the breath, notice the stillness of mind. Keeping hold of that connection between body, mind and breath. That openness, love and light. And take this with us off the mat. Bringing the hands together, rubbing them to warmth. Placing those hands as cups over the eyes. Giving yourself a gentle rub through those sockets before we flutter eyelids open and bring the hands down into prayer. Namaste everybody. I hope you enjoyed our practice this evening and hope you have a lovely rest of your evening. If you do have time and you like the video, please do give me a thumbs up below and a comment as well if you have time. I really appreciate them. And as always, donations are very welcomely received, especially at this time in lockdown. I think everybody's schedules and working lives have changed so much, but I really appreciate everybody that supports me as a small business. And hopefully I have everything crossed for the weather again for our Sunday class in Lloyd Park. We had loads of people last week and everybody was so respectful and being socially distanced as we have such a lot of space. So please do come and join us. All the details are on the website yogabehappy.co.uk, and hopefully I will see you again very soon. Many thanks and